Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here, Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO, and of course, we are very lucky to have a very special guest on the show right now. Brian, how are you doing today?
I am doing awesome.
All right, that's very, very good to hear. First off, we'd like to thank you for your time. I know you're very, very busy. Thank you for being on the show today. So, to start things off, can you help us out here, Brian? Can you help us introduce yourself to our audience who are listening and watching? Can you tell us something about yourself?
Okay, my name is Brian. I am a real estate agent out in the California in the United States. I run a small team, and I've been doing the business for 15 years now, so it's been a long time. Basically, I love what I do, and I've been looking for a way to help my clients, or now our clients, even more than we were normally able to do. So bringing in the Cyberbacker was one of the lucky parts of the equation. I was able to bring in earlier than I thought I was. So I really lucked out.
All right. That's very good to hear. 15 years in the business, before you had your own Cyberbacker working with you in your business, did you have experience working with someone virtually?
Yeah, I have a virtual assistant. She is local. She does pop in every once in a while, but the majority of the work that she does for us is either by phone or over the computer. So yeah, I've had access to a virtual assistant. And I can explain a little bit more of how the team sets up later if you want. But basically, yes, I've had a virtual partner before, or
Gotcha.
currently too.
So you did have experience then. But with Cyberbacker, tell me more about your experience so far working with your own Cyberbacker.
Well, it's interesting because normally I'm a face-to-face person, so Zoom really helps with my ability to interact with my Cyberbacker. It has been amazing, actually, when you first start with having a virtual assistant like I did. It's kind of like give them a little bit here and there with the purpose of the partnership I've got with my Cyberbacker, because that's what I told her when I hired her as part of the team is that it's a partnership. I'm not a dictator. She's a partner, and I expect her to act the part, and she's really gravitated to it. And it's been amazing because when I first got her, she was very tentative, I want to say, or very reserved, because she wasn't sure how I worked and how the team worked. And now she's really grown into her portion of it. And it's been amazing to see what she's brought on her own without having to dictate to her what it is. Because I told her I have two choices. I can either manage her, which is not my style, or I could lead her, and she got to choose. And she really liked the leader version of it because it empowered her, it educated her, and so on and so forth. So it's been amazing. I've had her for 6 months, and like I said, I was very lucky to get an opportunity to pick her up when I did. And I've been blessed ever since I've had her on the team.
That's very good to hear. Blessed ever since she started with you and your team. So you already mentioned a few pieces of advice there, but what I'd like to know is what makes this type of a virtual relationship work? What makes it a successful partnership?
Well, the first part is you have to realize that it is a partnership. I've been in different businesses, and I've been part of a team. And then I've also been part of like the lower class where the manager just tells you what to do. I want almost kind of like what my dad used to say is I want to see you, not hear you when we're working, right? Just do what I tell you to do, and that's it. That's not my style. I need a partner in the situation. And so when I got her, I explained that to her. And one of the things is you have to understand is when you have a virtual assistant or even a partner, they're both partners technically, but when you have a partner like that, you have to let them do it their way. So if you do a certain task a certain way and you want them to do it your certain way, it's not always going to work out because they have a different way of doing it. So you have to focus on that end product that you want them to do. So if I give my cyberbacker a job to do, she'll ask some questions, get some guidelines, and then I let her work it her way. And then at the end of the task, especially if it's a reoccurring task, we'll reevaluate what she did, make corrections as needed. She really likes to be able to make those decisions, and she also likes to be able to put her input in to be able to say that this is mine. So, and that's what I really want from my partners, is be able to put their input in. As I say in the when I hired her, I said we're a team. There's no I in team, but there isn't an M and an E. And that spells me, and that's where the buck stops. That's where every hard decision has to be made, is me, because no matter what, you have to have a leader in a team. That being said, she does know that she has my complete trust, because she's earned it, and also 90% control of what she does, because I have to be able to do that. I have to be able to let her do what she is, because if I micromanage her, it's not going to work for me, and it definitely isn't going to work for her.
And I think that does make sense, especially with micromanagement. Of course, you already got a cyberbacker to help you save the time. But if you're going to micromanage someone else, then of course that's going to eat up more of your time, right? It's like you're doing it, the task on your own. Now, how much time has she saved you ever since she started working with you? You mentioned that you've been working with her for 6 months.
So the time she saved is hard to quantify in like hours or stuff like that. What she's done is she's taking something off my plate. So I've spent that time doing other things. So to give you kind of idea of how the team works, is we have 3 categories. We have producers, that's my category. Lead generation, that's her category. And then we have administration, which is our virtual assistant and one other person's category. So she runs her category. I do a little bit in her category as well, because that's my job when I'm not doing production side. The advantage, though, is while she's doing some lead generation, I don't have to be afraid of the business kind of slowing down when I'm doing production, because you can't do, as much as people love to say multitasking is their specialty, they can't. And I've proven it multiple times that they can't do it. It's just that when I'm doing production and I'm focused on a client, I can't lead generation. And so it really helps relax me when taking care of the client, because I know she's working hard to lead generate. So, and she also knows that if she does her job, I can do my job. And if I do my job, she can keep her job. So it's very symbiotic system that we have going on.
So I like what you mentioned there, symbiotic partnership there, a relationship, of course. Now, you already talked about a few things that your cyberbacker is currently doing, but what I'd like to know more of is, what are some of the new things, the new tasks that you're considering to have her do in the future?
Okay, so her first current category is she is the ISA department of the team, because there's only one person.
Mm-hmm.
And what my future would like her to do is take over the cyberback or ISA department. So as we hire more cyberbackers, she would literally run them. The advantage of this is that she would already have experience in the category that we have, that side of the team, and be able to know the challenges that she's already gone through to be able to help them through the process. So my hope, because it really does fall upon her, is that she'll want to step up and take that part of the team. So she'd still do a little bit of what she's doing right now. Majority of those, she'd be running the team that is cyberbacker ISAs. That being said, like I said, is she has to make that decision if she wants to do it. I could push her into that category, and if she doesn't like it, it would end terribly. So she has to buy into it on her own, and she has to decide if she wants to do it. That's one of the advantages of the way I work, is I tell them the future of what we would look like, and then let them decide if that's where they want to be in the future. Because I've told her, I said, if she wants to go forward, I'm all about helping her. If she doesn't want to go forward, I have no problem, as long as she understands I'm going to have to hire somebody later on to take the place that she didn't want. And she's been very open to thinking about it and really giving some thought about it.
So creating your own cyberbacker team there and having your current cyberbacker, of course, leading that once she would want to take up that role. That's very exciting, of course. More things for her to do. That's growth for her as well, and a lot of opportunities for her. Now, my next question is a bit tough. What have been some of the challenges that you've had working with Cyberbacker?
So, well, the first off is they're not here. Right. It's very much. And on top of that, I also have to remember the time difference that you guys have versus mine. So I have to take those into account. And I can't just simply jump in and help her out because she's where she's at and I'm where I'm currently at. So that's a challenge that I have. Motivation is also another challenge because I only really get to talk to her about 20, maybe 30 minutes each work day. So I really have to depend on her being able to be open with what's going on in the situation so I can help. The other one is the challenge is, and it's not really a fear anymore because she's of the way she acts and the way she's grown into her part. But in the beginning, the fear I had is that she would keep her mouth quiet about problems and challenges she has for fear of me not being happy and then moving on to another cyberbacker. What I kept responding to her is that I can't help her if I don't know what's wrong. So she needs to tell me. And a real example would be this is that we use a dialer for her to make it as fast as possible. And the dialer I originally chose was my own choice. I had used it in the past. I felt comfortable with it. And she started using it and she noticed there were problems. She brought it to my attention. We had a conversation about it. And then we decided that we would put it on hold because we had other more important things to work out in the beginning. When those things worked out, she brought it back to my attention. And also she had already taken the initiative to start looking at other options that we have. So we had conversations. She talked to other cyberbackers. She talked to her head cyberbacker about the situation. And then we had a conversation. I did some research as well, because that's my responsibility too. I don't just leave it to them to do the research. That's not fair. And so we looked into it. We made a decision together to move forward with another one. And she's been very happy with the new one that we got. And she feels very happy being able to tell me certain things to make sure her job works better. So that was one of my hardest parts in the beginning, was making sure that she felt comfortable telling me what was going wrong or what wasn't working so we could fix it. So that was one of the things that is maybe the conversational issue that we had in the beginning is I needed to know she felt comfortable telling me what was a challenge that we could correct and get her stuff. So, that's one of the things that I'm very happy about, is that she really gravitated to feeling comfortable telling me, when she's having a problem.
I think that also comes in time as well. Once you get used to working with each other, of course, there would be a sense of, let's say, openness between the both of you, especially when you communicate a lot. Don't you agree?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And if you are looking at getting a cyberbacker, or if you currently have a cyberbacker, I highly recommend that you stress to them that they can tell you their challenges so you can help them fix it or take care of it. One of the biggest concerns I have for my cyberbacker is burnout. Doing the job that she does, there's some burnout to it. So I make sure that she understands that there's flexibility in her job, description, and she has more control over it. And I'm always looking for that burnout moment, so that way I can address it and make sure of it. And the nice part is she's felt open enough to call me when she's had a moment like that. We addressed it. We took, I basically said, take a break, take your 15 minutes. And, do those things that I knew that she liked doing to help re-energize herself. And I even told her to switch the task she was working if that's what was causing it. And so she switched after her break and she was happy the rest of the day. So, that's very important too, is making sure that, your burnout is not a problem for you, because it very easily can happen when you just do the same task over and over again. And you don't feel that you're getting any support or even any positive reinforcement from whoever you're dealing with.
Because I think that's great advice. Again, I think burnout is something that a lot of people go through. But the way you handled it with your Cyberbacker, I think that's already great advice for all of our listeners who are business owners as well, once they hire their own Cyberbacker. Now, I know we've been talking about your Cyberbacker for a while now. Would you want to give her a quick shout out on the show or any message you'd like to share?
Okay. Well, first off, her name is Kathleen, and you don't have long enough for me to tell you how wonderful she is. Every time I've gotten a request to rate her, I've given her a 9.5 because 10 is perfect. And currently I don't know anybody but my wife who is perfect. So, but 9.5. And the neat part about it is it's not a set goal. The 9.5 is never a set position. It always grows based off the person I'm talking to. And she's always stretched to meet that 9.5. So if she happens to be listening, you're doing wonderful as always. And if other people are listening, just make sure that you're making sure that they understand their goal, what you expect from them, and make them feel part of the process. So that way they can earn those 9.5s or 9s or 10s or whatever you want to give them as a rating. Because she is amazing at what she does. She cares about the client. That was one of the important things that was to us. Our team is what's called client centric. So we revolve around the client. And we make sure the client is taken great care of, and she's really gravitated towards that, and which is really nice, is because she's bought into taking care of the client. She knows what her position on the team does to help the client, and she really loves doing it. So
we are very excited, of course, to see where this partnership between you and Kathleen would be in the next few months, because it's only been 6 months. Imagine what you can do in the next year and many more years to come. Brian, thank you very much for being on the show today. Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.